Okay, we are back at bench one. I have got the headstock polished up in the front. I did a little polish on the back. Front turned out really good. I've got dirt all along the back of my neck now that I have to fix up. And what I did on the fretboard was the areas that were obviously damaged by some user that got this. I sanded them out with some 400 grit and re-cleaned it again with naphtha. And now it's ready for me to fix the two frets that have the problem and polish all the rest of them. And of course I have now to reinstall my tuners. Now that that's all done. Now inside the post holes of the tuners I did find crud like that, which I cleaned out. Now I have to clean them off these before I put them back in. So as I've shown before, put them in from the back with the little screws first, but not tight. Then put the these collars on the front, not tight. Go on the back now and secure the screw snug on each one. Snug. And now snug on the front. We're going to call that work done. It was crappy, but it's done. I got that adhesive off the back of my neck with a little bit of wax. Just came right off. Alright, now I guess I'm going to have to tackle those frets. I'm just trying to get this tape in place. Alright, we're coming down to the last fret to get polished with the steel wool. Okie dokie. We have the adhesive removed. After polishing up my headstock, I get all that dust all over it again. And my gold pickups. Gold pickups, they are hard to maintain gold. They are harder than chrome. So what I'm going to do now, when I was successful here in the horns with the rubbing compound manually and then some wax, it worked out okay. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to apply a little bit of oil, and then I'm going to go get some thinner. Okay, I'll be back. Well, the fretboard is still sweating. Did I do it that other stud? There it is. I'm installing the anchors for the bridge and the tailpiece. I felt it just seat. Let's see if we can get through the last one without cracking up any finish. So far so good. Famous last words. Alright, we're in the zone. Back side. Just. Just. Okay. Where are they? There they are. So the fretboard is still bleeding a bit. And now that these things are in, I'm going to let this sit for overnight before putting any strings on it, because I don't want any oil to be there when I put the strings on, so that you know, I don't contaminate them. Don't want to contaminate. There's quite a difference between these parts. You see, that's their part, and that's the new part. This is just pretty much the standard. It's the second time I've seen screws like this come in. Second time. And the tail pieces are also quite different. You see, this is the original here. This is the new one. So it's about this one's about a third bigger than this one. I mean, this is not a bad tailpiece. It's a nice little tailpiece. It's just got the wrong color gold on it. It's like a dark gold. It's hard to tell gold in the camera. There. See? Different gold. Brighter, darker. Tuning keys are also that color gold. I like that. Okay, let's check the bridge. Did they go in okay? Boom. Perfect. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. Okay, so that's going to sit till tomorrow and just let it dry up, and then we'll get some strings on it. I've got some different knobs that came with it. I didn't like the ones that came on it. They seemed like they were too dark. So I've got some lighter ones, which I think I like better, and I'm thinking I'm going to go with those. Alright gang, this is coming right down here to the last part of this episode. The neck has stopped bleeding overnight. Put that over there. The fretboard turned out beautifully. Oh, and I also put these knobs on the body. I think they go better. So I'm going to put a couple of strings on here. Zzz, you can hear that. So, non-locking tuners using the luthier's knot is like this. You bring your string down, and the first thing you do is position all the holes in your headstock so that they're angled 45 degrees out from the headstock. On the upper side, you put the string through. Give yourself a little bit of a space over here. Over here with some string. Then what you do is you fold the string around the top of the headstock to the inside like that. Pinch it around, bring it under, pull it tight, up, over, and down like that to lock it in place. and then you spin it up. And while you spin it up, you put some tension on there and make sure that the string goes down underneath the first level, so it goes down. And what happens is that the tension on this string locks that in place so there's no slippage. And then all you have to do is just snug that up, a wind and a half, and you basically have a luthier's knot. Now on the other side, it's the same thing, 40 degrees, 45 degrees. It's going to be the silver, except it's the opposite side, but it's the same process. Now I always start from the closest to the nut going out, so that as I work out, this is not in my way as if I was coming back that way. You can do it any way you like. So on this side, you do the opposite. You just stick it, well, it's the same. You stick it through the 45. Now on the thinnest string, right, it winds a lot more, so you don't have to give yourself so much if you don't want as many windings on the headstock. But you do the same thing. It goes out and it comes over the top of the headstock to the inside, just like on this side it went over the top of the headstock to the inside. Over the top of the headstock to the inside, underneath, and over, right? And if you want to make it extra, you can bring it back underneath, because it's a very small string, and over. And then you wind it up and do exactly the same thing as you did on the other side, except on this side the buttons turn in the opposite direction. So you make sure it's going down. On these strings I always leave a little bit more than on the thicker strings, because if I have to loosen them for any reason to do some work, I find that I break a lot less if I have an extra wind on there than if I don't. And boom, there's the luthier's knot on both sides. So I'm going to do the rest and get the neck and everything set up. Okay, we're done. The HB didn't have to do a whole lot to it. Frets are all done and polished. A roller bridge, a little bit of electric there. The tuners, I still have them. They're original. I didn't change them. They're holding pretty good, surprisingly. I was expecting to have to change them, but yeah, it's doing pretty good. Okay, so I'm on one of my favorite Mustang patches I made up for this, and we're going to try a little bit of stuff here in the bridge position to start with and see how badly we can do, which I know I can. E major pentatonic. Well, it was bad, but not too bad. I think on this one, the center position is my favorite. It's a very beautiful plum, and yeah, I'm very happy in the end now. So, as usual, thanks for watching. I appreciate all your support. Catch you in the next one.